Okay, this is the second narrative presentation on stairs. With that being said, one thing I want to tell you is you're welcome to skip ahead or play something over if you want. That's the beauty of these presentations. If you already know it's a topic, feel free to skip ahead. Plus, that being said, this presentation is probably going to be, I don't know, maybe around 10 minutes, so it'll be short and sweet. I just wanted to stay caught up with what we were teaching in class. I didn't want to get too far behind. And I don't want to make these presentations so long that they're super boring. So we'll try to keep this one about 10 minutes. That being said, the objectives of here for this presentation is we're going to review the first step. We're going to talk about the 11-inch comfortable run rule. We're going to talk about nosing and the requirements for nosing on treads. We're going to talk about the 10-inch and 11-inch uh, minimum unit run. We're going to talk about unlimited and limited run, and we're going to calculate the total run. And then in the end, we're actually going to work through a whole problem right up till the end, from start to finish, showing you how to calculate all the steps, including the calculating of the total run. Okay, let's take a look at first cut. First cut is the adjustment we make to the staircase to compensate for the fact that we're going to be adding a tread to the top of the stairs. Simply put, we're just going to take whatever the tread thickness is off the bottom of the first step. Okay, just like unit rise, we had a comfortable step of 7 inches. We have an 11-inch comfortable step for the unit run. So very similar in nature. It's just the target, what we're aiming for, and not a building code. Here we're taking a look at the tread nosing. Tread nosing is the part of the tread that overhangs the front of the step. And the building code states that this is between 3/4 of an inch and 1 1/4 of an inch. Okay, similar to the unit rise having a maximum rise of 7 3/4, we also have some rules that pertain to the run. In this case, though, it's the minimum run, not the maximum that we care about. With that said, if we don't have any tread nosing, then we need to do an 11-inch run. But if we do have nosing, then it's 10-inch of run we're allowed to have. And the reason is simple, because the nosing adds a little bit of space to the tread. So with a 10-inch tread with nosing, at bare minimum, that's going to be 10 3/4 of an inch. Okay, unlimited run is a simple concept, but it just simply means that there's nothing in way of the stairs. We don't have to factor in adjusting our total run or our unit runs to compensate for something that may be in the way of the stairs, for whatever reason. Okay, limited run is the opposite of unlimited run. Limited run says that there's a reason that we need to adjust for the run of the stairs. So there's some kind of limit or restraint is another word we could use, that's going to cause us either to extend the total run or shorten the total run. And then in turn, the unit run will also change for that fact. Okay, so far our mathematical calculations are based on these things. We have the ability now to do this. We calculate the number of steps, the unit rise, number of steps in the stringer. We know how to make the first cut calculation. And we also know how to do the total run with a comfortable 11-inch unit run. In the very near future, we're going to be talking about how to adjust the total run, but that's the next presentation. So let's take this time right now and let's review a problem from start to finish based on what we should have a understanding of right now. Okay, for this example, we're going to use a total rise of 86 inches. We're going to solve for the following things: number of steps, unit rise, number of steps in the stringer, first cut, total run, and adjusted unit run. So the first thing on the list, number of steps, is what we're going to do on this slide. And in order to do that, we need to know the formula. And the formula is total rise divided by a comfortable step, and that'll give us the number of steps in this staircase. Not in a stringer, but in the staircase. That's the overall amount of stairs needed. With that said, total rise of 86 divided by 7, because 7 is a comfortable step. gives us 12.2857, and I rounded the number right there because we really don't need to know the rest of it. Actually, what we need to do is round it to the whole number. So 12.2857 becomes 12. So the number of steps we have in this particular staircase with a total rise of 86 inches is 12 steps total. Now let us solve for the unit rise. The unit rise is just the size of one step, and we simply take the total rise and divide it by the number of steps, and we will have the unit rise. And the number of steps is what we solved for in the previous slide. So 86 divided by 12 gives us 7.1667. And if we were to convert that to a fraction form, that would be 7 and 13/16 of an inch. All right, now let's take a look at solving for the number of steps in a stringer. Probably the easiest of all to solve for, because you simply take the number of steps and minus 1 and get the number of steps in a stringer. And the reason we do that is because the last step is the step onto the landing, so we don't need to put that in the actual stringer. So in this case, the number of steps in a stringer is 11. First cut. As we explained, the first cut is the adjustment made to the first step in a set of staircases. We take whatever the tread thickness is away from the unit rise. So unit rise minus tread thickness equals first cut. In this case, the unit rise was 7.1667 minus 1.5 equals 5.6667. And if we put that in fraction form, that would be 5 and 11/16 of an inch. Okay, now we're going to solve for the total run. Again, the total run is just the distance that these stairs are going to come out in a total distance. We take the number of steps in a stringer, which in this case is 11, and we times it by 11 in this case because 11 inches is our comfortable step. So 11 times 11 equals 121 inches. So 11 steps that measure 11 inches come out 121 inches.